Okay, folks, back with another project. This is a 1993 GSXR750, and I haven't actually had this bike running yet. I basically bought it as is. It wants to sort of try to start, but it's just kind of farting and puffing, and it is not running. So first thing I'm going to do is pull the tank off and probably give it a shot of fuel down the carbs and just see if it'll fire that way, and likely pull the carburetors off and put them in the ultrasonic cleaner for a start. The bike itself is very original, which is good. It's got the original pipe on it, it's got the original turn signals and rear fender, and nothing has been hacked and chopped and any of that sort of stuff. It has been down the road, slid down the road, I guess, slightly. There's some scuff marks here, as you can see on the tail section. I move along here, and the front fairing has got a number of scrapes on it as well. A bit of a small dent in the tank with a scrape here and there. And then the section, the inner fairing here has broken away. So I actually do have a new one of these for it. The bigger question for me is going to be on the decal set, because this is kind of the early 90s when everybody was doing these fade graphics on the bikes. So you kind of here you can kind of see it fades, goes from blue and it fades to kind of this purplish color here. So with all the replica decal sets, they don't have the fade, they just are kind of blue here, purple here. Same over here, they just kind of pick a spot, and this is purple, this is blue, there's no fade. So I'm not sure that I've not really found a really good set of graphics for reproduction on this yet, but we'll look. It's not my favorite color, but I'm kind of wrestling with the whole keep it original thing. I've always wanted a dual headlight GSXR, and this one will fit the bill. So we'll see how it is. The other option here is to take this and do like a 1990 or 91 blue and white color scheme on it. It would be fairly easy to do that. It's a nicer looking color scheme, but it's obviously not original. So stay tuned and we'll see what happens. So first thing, to get the bike running, I pulled the tank off and figured out that the big problem was I wasn't getting any fuel flow because the petcock assembly wasn't working properly with the vacuum. So when I fed fuel directly into the fuel lines, it worked okay. It worked no problem at all, fired right up. So I rebuilt the petcock, and we'll get the tank back on and we'll see how it goes from there. But in the process of removing bodywork, found a bit of a horror show underneath, where somebody who was trying to remove a subframe from this bike in the past obviously stripped the head of that Allen bolt where the leg of the subframe attaches to the main frame, and instead of drilling it out, they tried to grind off the head. You see there, and then that didn't work. They still didn't drill it out and use an easy outer and some heat or what have you. They decided that the right thing to do here was to lop off with a sawzall or a hacksaw the entire leg of the frame. But that's okay, because then they just bolted it back together with a scab of metal and a couple of carriage bolts, and that's got to be safe. So needless to say, now I have a new subframe on the way from eBay and a replacement bolt from Suzuki. Absolute madness. Why people do this kind of stuff and think it's correct or safe, I have no idea. My view. So this is going to be a turn into a Kevin Schwantz Pepsi replica, or tribute, whatever you want to call it. I did manage to find a Manson Hines 4-into-1 header and mid pipe for it, so that's going to go on, and then there's an SC Project silencer that'll go on there and give it a bit of a better racy look and sound. I did get the bike running finally. I'm not going to fire it up today, but I did clean the carburetors and Seems to have done the trick. So far so good with that. I put some fresh oil into it. It was really, really dirty and grossly overfilled, so still a bit of work to do there just to make sure that's all running well. And with the new exhaust system that's going on this, I'm probably going to take the carbs off and rejet them anyway. But today we're see if we can get this bolt out of here. So now my job is to work my way through drilling this guy so I can put an easy out in there. Heat didn't do much of anything with this because when I put heat on it with some penetrating oil, I was hoping that the oil penetrant would wick with the heat on the bolt, but in actual fact all the heat gets sinked away by the aluminum. So I'm just going to drill it out and then use an easy out. So what I'm doing here is I've got my 1/4 inch bit. I've taped it level to the drill here so I can stay as level as possible when I'm drilling it. I put a mark on the top of the frame of the Sharpie. I can take that off later with acetone just so I can make sure that I'm keeping kind of left to right and I don't kind of wander off there. And then I'm using a drop of oil every few minutes as I go, but it's going to take me a long time. I've been at this for a little while already, and even though my drill bits are sharp, it's taking longer than I'd like. Anyway, we'll keep at it. Alright, so a bit more progress. We're slowly but surely we're getting there. I found that if I use the slightly faster drill speed, and also I switched to the WD-40, the regular oil. Maybe it was actually just making it slip more and not cut, but the penetrating oil seems to be doing a little bit better. So I'm a little hesitant yet to try the easy out because I really don't want it to snap off inside there, because getting that out of there would be nigh on impossible. So I'm going to take my time and drill as much of this out as I can. Okay, we have success. We made it all the way through there, and the good news is I think it's pretty much bang on center of that bolt. There you go, you can see it there. Pretty much bang on center, which is good. I did manage to unfortunately nick the corner of the airbox when the drill broke through, but we can fix that, no problem. So on to the next size drill. So step one, I unbolted this because I actually managed to drill the head right off when I snapped it off when I used the easy out first time. So judging by the size of the thread left in there, I'm not going to drill out anymore because I risk damaging the threads in the aluminum. So I'm going to see if now I can get it out with the easy out. Let's see what happens from here on in. So there it is. Slowly but surely. So here we are. We're finally getting this out. Okay, so we're going to re-record this bit because I messed up the video recording the first time. So basically I've got the thread out with this easy out. So finally there it is, and so pretty happy with that. Pull that out of there. So now you can see that so that's the side that the head of the bolt was on, and then this is the tip of the bolt. So I drilled out pretty evenly. The level on the drill and the line on the frame was apparently good guidance. So I did manage to crack loose all the remaining 3 of these bolts. I just used a 24-inch pry bar. I just give it a real quick snap, and then they all came loose. So now I'm actually in the process of transferring some of the brackets onto the new subframe, and then also just kind of going around and systematically removing all the various parts. So loosening off things like the water bottle, taking the foot pegs off, anything that basically mounts to this subframe will be removed. The whole tail section of the rear fender has to come out. Battery and all that kind of good stuff, so that's what I'm going to be doing now. And as usual, everything that comes off, every step I take gets written down. Every part gets bagged. All the bolts and fasteners are bagged with the corresponding number of the step, and then the main parts go into separate bins and so on. So that's how I keep everything straight and organized. More to come. New subframe is on. See there, that's no longer the hack job that was there before, so pretty straightforward to remove the other one. It's just really a matter of pulling off all the accessories that are bolted onto it, and then the reverse order, put it back together,